Welcome to Easy Paint. We are going to be painting self-portraits or selfie portraits. So we are going to take the iPhone or whatever phone device you have and take a selfie with it, and then we are going to paint that. And if you're a family and you got a whole bunch of people there, you might have to print those pictures off or whatever, or maybe just share the phone. So what I like about the selfie is you can actually, you can position it the way you'd like. When someone else is taking a picture, you have no idea what they're taking. But when you take a selfie, you see right away how you're looking back at yourself. Doing self-portraits, I think, are fun. And it's a great way to learn how to do a portrait. When I do portraits, I'm always feeling self-conscious about the person I'm painting. I want them to really appreciate the painting as well as appreciate what I see in them. But when you do a self-portrait, you can make a little bit more fun of yourself. You know, if you can exaggerate things, no one's going to really be hurt because you're doing it to yourself, and you gotta be able to laugh at yourself sometimes. So selfies or self-portraits are great for that. So go get a picture of yourself, position yourself in whatever lighting you want. We are going to kind of do this stir crazy because everybody's kind of cabin fevered. We've been kind of staying home for some time now, and this is a great time to do a portrait of ourselves. Some of us have grown beards, some of us need haircuts, whatnot. So I'm in my kitchen, and I'm going to do my selfie here because I need this pot light, and I want to shine the light on my head. And what I like about the selfie is not only are you the cameraman, but you are also the actor in the selfie that you're going to be doing. So I'm going to position myself just right. Okay, so here I want this light. See the way the light's shining on my face like that? I want to look kind of serious. I don't want to have a smile on my face, but I don't want to look angry. I have a natural tendency to look angry in my face, but I'm not. I'm not angry. Okay, so I like that. See the way the nose is casting the shadow? I like that. That's what I'm looking for. I put on a red kind of, I don't know, it looks like a night shirt. You know, something that the old Westerns would wear when they're cabin fever. You know, I want that cabin fever look. Okay, so what's great is you got your picture, and let's begin. What I like to do is I like to just block in the shape. You know, a portrait shape. I'm going to go strictly with orange and yellow and a little bit of red, and just make this thing look nice and hot. Okay, so in my portrait, I got some of you might have a little round head. Some of you guys might have a lot of nice hair. I don't know. For me, I'm realizing I'm looking at a picture of my dad. You know, when you don't really look at your face a lot, when you actually start looking at it, I see a lot of my dad in me. I'm an older man now, and I kind of like the wrinkles. So I'm gonna try to see if I can bring some of that out. But anyways, so there's my shape. I think that's my shape of my head. It's kinda. And then I'm gonna just kind of, it's too big of it right there. I think my shoulders go here. Okay, my neck goes down like that. All right. Okay, so I want to get rid of all this white, the white canvas that's showing there. So I'm just gonna block it out with like maybe just purple on top. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of block that out a bit. I'm not sure. Okay, I don't want to see any kind of background. This self-portrait's just going to be the portrait. I'm not going to paint my kitchen in the background. So there you go. Now, one of the things about a portrait is positioning all your features, like where your head is in ratio to your eyes. So in mine, I got a fairly nice size forehead here, and my eyes go, I don't know, just got to start somewhere. And I always like to start with the eyes. and then divide my head in quarters. So now, of course, you know this line here will be where the nose is, and this line here is usually, I mean, some people like to do it right where the eyes are, and some people like to do it above the eyes. For me, I always like to have that above the eyes. So my eyes will go below that, and then I'll go, okay, so I'm looking pretty well straight on. And then my mouth is, I think, right around there. And then then my chin. Okay, so I'm looking at this. It's looking quite oval. I don't know if my head's that oval. Just gonna paint in some darker shapes, and then the reason why I position my head like this with this lighting was I just really want to pop out all that light. That's really what I want to paint, is the light. So we're going to paint it fairly dark first. So when I put my light paint on there, it should just hopefully just pop out. Okay. Okay, so we are going to put in our hair next. So I'm going to go with pure black. And I'm going to use the hair to frame in the head. So just around the forehead here. And I'm going with black because I just want it to go dark. Because really what you're going to do is put the color and the highlight on top of the hair. I'm going to go around the neck and the shoulders. I'm just going to add, since I got some dark paint on my brush, I'm just going to help kind of bring out some of these darker areas of the painting. Now the eyebrows are also important too, because there's a little bit of light that's on the eyebrows. And so, now don't be afraid to go quite dark. Actually, I'm going to just go in and make everything dark. My shadow really dark. Like this is kind of my feature shadow right here, is this shadow under the nose and how it runs right down the face. So I'm going to keep it quite dark right now. I am going to go light on top of it. I'm going to probably put orange on top of it. Okay, so go around the eyes. Just want to get those few things right. Okay. Just blend it, soften it a little bit, soften my color a little bit. And then I'm going to put some nice harsh color on top. Okay, this is looking good. I like it. I like my portrait. One thing about doing a portrait of yourself is really look at your face and look how weird you look, or maybe how magnificent you look. Okay, so we're gonna put introduce a new color here. We're gonna introduce the yellow ochre. I'm just gonna put it all over, put some of it in the shadow. Right now, I'm just putting it right here where the highlight's gonna be. I just want to get rid of some of this orange. I feel like I'm an orange man. Okay, soften, blend it. I'm using a small brush because I want to start to see brush strokes. Okay, now put pure orange in. Just plop it on top. You want to see paint now. Paint sitting on top of it. So don't worry about blending it too much. Like just plop it on there. There's some interesting lines going on. In some ways, the orange is brighter than the highlighted area. So it looks like those orange are like the white of the eyes, but it's not. It's really the shadow. Like the eyes are going to be above it. And when we plop in that highlight, it'll really pop out. The orange will actually look dark. So, okay, this looks good. I like this. Now I'm going to go for my highlights. So I'm going to go with white, and everything's kind of wet, so I'm going to see what happens when I just go with white. Might work. I might have to go with. Okay, so there's my nose. It's not just a straight line. And then my forehead's got all these little wrinkles like this. I'm going to use my finger because you want to blend. And I find using fingers is a good way to blending a little bit. Like just lightly touching, like you can actually feel the canvas underneath it. Now, this part here is the fun part, little cheek right there. And then this is all lit up right in here. Same with that side. This side's a little less lit up. Maybe go in there with a darker color, like more of a reddish color. And then I got my I wish I knew what all these terms were. Medical doctor. Got my pendicles here, and then I got my abebicals here, and then we'll put in the ellipticals right there. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to mix some pink in it. Or I'm mixing up some pink. So white and red makes a nice pink. The red I'm using is a crimson red. Crimson red is more of a purpley red, I find. So, put a little bit of that pink there. Okay. Just constantly look at the photograph and just go, okay, there's light here, there's light there. Also, I think I'm just going to go with almost more of a darker red right there on the side. Just right there, like that. And then right here, I want to sink this in a little bit more. It feels a bit pudgy. Like that. Okay. This is just you gotta look at this like an exercise. It's an exercise of painting. And it's not like this is gonna hang in the Louvre or anything like that. It's not like a serious thing you're doing. It's just a self-portrait. Commissioned by yourself. You've commissioned this portrait to be done by yourself. I hired myself to paint this. And you can be as hard as you want on yourself. Like when it's done, I'm going to crucify the artist who made me look this way. Or you could be very, very generous and be the one that you may not like it. You may look at the guy who painted it, which is you, and say to him, "Good try." All right, so this is kind of feature part is this little lip right here. See that? That is cool. All right. Bring that down a bit. I'm going to just punch a little white right in it right now. It's right by the lip, the whitest part. Okay, and then there's another, it's right here on the chin. All right. Okay, so it's looking pretty good, I think. I think you're doing a fine job. I think it's a fine face that I'm looking at here. This is a face hopefully my wife can love one day. All right, there we go. It's a face only a mother can love, maybe. All right. Okay, so I'm adding some blue on top because I'm going to just go with, because this is the light source. It's coming down. So you want to have this looking nice and lit up on the top. This is what will be spilling over. And I also got the same feeling on the on the eyebrows. So because of the quarantine, my eyebrows have gotten a little hairy. I've been, trying to shave every day. It's interesting how many guys are growing beards through this whole thing. So, clean shaven, but bushy eyebrows. Okay. It's a little weird light there. I don't really like that light too much, but there we go. Now, I'm going to go in with some dark color. I'm just going to go into some black. It's always good to paint subtle, but sometimes you might want to just go in and bring out the parts that you want. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in and see where my eyes actually are. Got a squinty eye look. Okay, so there's one eye, and then I got it's a bit of a lid there. And my other eye goes there. It's probably a little bit more. Whoa. just bring this down a bit like that. Okay, now see where the nose is. This eye's closer to the nose, that eye's further away. So let's just pull this whole eye over. Okay, now I'm going to pull this line in there, right there. What about the same distance? Okay. Well, this eye is telling me it's way too close, like narrow eyes, little narrow eyes. Okay, now I'm going to add some color in there. Just add a little nostril right there. And one right there. It's kind of the darkest part. And the lips. What's interesting about lips is they're always moving, so it's never a solid line. So I'm just going to indicate a little bit where my mouth meets. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. Now, let that dry a bit. I'm going to work on my neck. And I'm going to bring out the two shirts I'm wearing. So I got a t-shirt on underneath, and then I got this kind of, I don't know, if you're to imagine like a guy wearing his onesies long johns, that's what this feels like. It feels like those onesies that you wear. I'll just put make it look a little bit more like, and I'm gonna go with red and orange. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in red. Oh yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna go in with some orange, just to kind of pop out some brighter. Now remember, it's a painting, so I'm just gonna lather it on really thick. Now it just feels like it has a front there, so I'm just gonna pull it around like that. Same with this side. So it goes around your neck. And I'm gonna give my t-shirt more of a white colors to it. So what it does, it makes the, blue colors. What it makes is it makes all these orangey highlights there feel a little bit more like the skin's kind of got a more of a red tone to it. Okay, it's almost there. It's almost there. You have to ask yourself, does it look like me? And I don't know, compare yourself to somebody that doesn't look like you, and it probably looks a lot like you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and bring in some orange right underneath my lip. So it feels like it's backlit a bit, coming up from this. And the same with under the lip there. I'm just going to leave it a little loose like that. I don't know if I like that, but we'll just leave it for now. And then there's a backlit there. And there's a nice backlit going here. And I'm going to put a little bit right underneath my eyelids like that. Some backlight that goes in there. Okay. All right. It's kind of peering out. It's slightly showing. It slightly looks like me. Okay, so, and my double chin, put in like 1, 2. It's really not that double. It's like a triple chin. Like they're little chins. They're not like big double chins. Okay, so let's go back in with my white and pop out my highlights a bit more. I'm going to dip it in yellow and white. And we are going to just try to focus on these highlights now. So my brush is really loaded with paint. I'm going to work on this cheek a bit more here. Got some wrinkles here, put those in. And got a slight highlight there. It's a highlight that goes across like that. The whole forehead's actually quite highlighted. I'm going to blend with my finger a bit because you can subtly touch your painting. When you paint fast, Your fingers become brushes. If you want to take your time and get the right brush for it, you'll probably do a better job. If you're in a hurry, and that's one of my things of doing court drawings is you have to draw fast. They're just a quick appearance and then that's it, they're gone. There's a weird little light that kind of appeared right there. And this part's all quite a bit, it's not as highlighted as much. So I'm just gonna, but it is part of the highlighted part. And the whole nose, this nostril here, and this nostril here, and then this whole side here. So we've got a lot there, a lot going on there. And then right in here where the mouth kind of tucks in, and then part of the lip. Now, just gonna slightly blend it down a bit. So what you want to do too is you're going to punch out these highlights too. And then there's a light right there. And make the back of my shirt a lot brighter. Okay, I like it. Now I'm going to do the other side, a little brighter though. This side seems to be a little bit more lights hitting this side. So let's make this fairly bright. I'm going to go with some pure white on there now. You want to kind of build in your whites. You don't want to just jump the gun on the white. And then this part here is a little bit more highlighted. Okay. So I'm going to tone it down a little bit, and then I'm just going to bring this part down over here. Just comes in there. Just a little bit all on this side of the face. And this kind of goes around like that. My ear is showing slightly, so just put that in there. See the other ear? I can't really see it, but this one does show. Okay, so. All right, I'm going to work on the forehead now. What's nice is I'm going to leave this dark area be the shadow of the hair, but it's too dark. It's almost like a black, so I'm going to just throw some orange up in there real quick, blend it down, so it feels more like I don't know, the skin. Okay. And this is the brightest area. Right here is like pure white. There. Let's leave that. I'm not even going to blend that. I'm just going to leave that blob there. Sometimes when you look at it, you see a blob of paint on a portrait, and it really adds. It's like, I'm just going to blend this a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to go down the nose. This is where the whitest part of the nose is. Now, the more I'm looking at this thing, the less I want to do anything with the eyes. I'm going to leave the eyes. A lot of us like to paint eyes. Like we like to go in there and make a white circle and then fill it in, right? I'm just going to leave that. Everyone knows those are eyes right there. What's really important is this highlight that I'm painting. It's what I feel is the most important part of this, trying to do this portrait. It kind of works. Might not be in the photograph as good, but we'll just put some white right there. Blend it down a bit. There. And just touch right there. Okay, that's it. Now, because there's the red shirt, I want to put something that goes nice with red. So I'm going to go with green and my purple a little bit. So I'm just going to, yeah, that's the color right there. Nailed it right off the bat. So this kind of gray green will look great against this orange. and the, I don't know, orange, I guess, orange skin. Let's put a little bit more highlight in it, a little more white. There we go. Okay, so we'll go up like this. There's the ear, yeah. And my head's a little more blockier, it's not so round. So let's go like this. Make it look a little more disheveled. Okay. There it is. I've done my self-portrait, my selfie portrait. That's fun. You need to learn to breathe too, because while I was doing this whole thing, I think I held my breath for the whole time. So let's just take this off. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so let me see if it looks like me. Okay, let's line it up. There we go. All right, right there. There it is, my selfie portrait. Join us next week for another easy paint. I hope you enjoyed this. Please post your picture. I mean, these were just quick little selfie portraits. I'm Lavoie. Thanks again.